like that. So when you lose 7 in a row, anytime you can break that and get a win, it's a good feel. And I'm proud of our guys. They had to fight at the end and did a good job fighting to get that W, but much needed.
And then for most of the year, it's been the starting pitching carrying you guys and then finding something to make it work. This weekend, your starters weren't as sharp as they've been the past couple weeks. How big was it to win with Evan only going a couple innings?
Well, I mean, honestly, it's been a few weeks since Minute Maid when we got 3 really good quality starts is the last time we had all 3 really good quality starts. And I'm not knocking our starters. I think they're doing a great job. But last weekend, only 1 guy got through 5. And the weekend before was a very similar setup. We are a team that needs to be built around our starting pitching. And if they do well, it gives us an opportunity. And if they don't, we're not as good. And so to get consistency right now, I was talking to one of our coaches earlier about this, like when you have a good starters and good bullpen and you're offensively sound and you're defensively sound, consistency happens. When any of those areas are not consistent enough, or if only one is consistent enough, or the next day it's another one that's good, the other one's, then you're going to lead to inconsistencies, and that's where we've had right now. But I'm proud of our guys. I think Kravitz, don't get me wrong, I think Kravitz did a good job for the time he was in there. It just would be nice to get more length out of him, and same with Parthasarathi the last couple. It would just be nice to get more length out of those guys, and they're really good pitchers. So don't get me wrong, I'm excited, I'm glad we have them. But we need them to perform at the level they can, and when they do, we'll have a chance to win games.
You talked about defensively. On the left side of the infield, it's been kind of an error-laden start for y'all, and with Como playing shortstop here, do you feel like that's something you can improve upon moving forward?
Yeah, I think we have. I mean, if you go back and look at numbers, the past, all the games, and you kind of break down our errors and where we're at now, the last maybe 3 weeks compared to where we were the first 3 weeks, there is a considerable difference in what our fielding percentage is the last 3 weeks compared to our first 3 weeks. It was something that needed to be addressed heavily, and we have addressed it heavily. It by no means is it perfect, and your question is exactly right. It's not perfect, nor will it ever be, but it has improved, and it will continue to improve. So,
This weekend, you went the first 2 games and all. I almost got there today with no errors in a series. You talked about that yesterday. How proud are you just to watching the guys have some patience and stay focused the whole game?
Yeah, well, I am. I'm proud of our guys. This was I told you yesterday, I believe. This was kind of one of those games where I think it was a must-win, honestly. And must might be a little harsh 6 games into a conference season. But at the same point in time, I think it was about as must as you need 6 games into a conference season. And to watch our guys, like you said, I think we went 26 innings without an error this weekend, which to your point, to your question, is an improvement. Like obviously that is huge, and it just gives you opportunities, and so it was good to see. And Como makes that play 99 out of 100 times, but he didn't, So, but it was still good fight by our guys.
A lot of runs in bunches, but the guys, they just waited it out, got the right pitches when they needed to, and then it was okay to spray it around.
Yeah, I mean, we did. What we did a little better today offensively is we got some big hits, and we've been struggling with that probably throughout our entire 7-game losing streak. It was one of those things where we just were not getting the big hit, the clutch hit, so to say. Even with 0 or 1 outs, runner in scoring position, we'd end up, leaving him out there. And it was fun to see our guys come through in the clutch today. It was a fun day offensively.
And then as far as consistency goes, you have DiCaprio, who's going to be done, and then you've had Como dealing with injuries, and Frazier with his hamstring, and Trey was sick today. How challenging has it been to find consistency when you haven't been healthy?
Yeah, it is challenging. We even had Collins out a game with a hand or something. So, but it is difficult when guys go down and get hurt. And so, but I tell you what, our guys are resilient. They've done a really good job of filling in. We did not think Bradley Knighting would be at third base at all this year, and he's already probably played there about 7-8 games. And so but he's done a good job. I mean, he made a play maybe in the 7th inning. It was one of the best plays of the year. I mean, backhand, throw off his back foot, one hopper first baseman, and then Frazier, for not being a first baseman's footwork on that play was phenomenal. So it was really good to see, and our guys have done a good job of stepping in when guys go down.
All right, Coach, thank you.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.